All right. Here we are.
Here we are,
We're
yes.
doing this. We're finally doing this.
Very
Couple
exciting.
of buddies.
Booze and Banter.
Booze and banter.
Starting its first podcast.
Yeah. And what better than a bit of Ouzo?
Nothing better.
Great Ouzo is so good. Such a treat. And you know what? The beauty is, like, for me, Ouzo is the perfect beverage to go with, because the moment I smell it, it takes me right to Greece. And these beautiful situations I've had, these beautiful experiences I've had having Ouzo on a hot day, the beautiful situation, the lights right, the people are right, the sounds, the smells in the ouzerias with all the little mezes, little plates and food, and it takes me right there. It's a happy place.
So without spoiling anything,
you
introduced this to me because I got confused. Rookie mistake. Got confused with the grappa. Just confusing my European beverages, but that's okay. I'm all straightened out now. But I agree. Like on a hot day, that is absolutely wonderful.
Yeah,
it's refreshing. It's everything a gin and tonic is, but without needing all the complexity of a tonic or a soda. It's just simplicity in a glass, but complexity as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And all of the ingredients that go into it, the flavors, everything that goes into it, is a perfect pairing for that Mediterranean style food. The flavors go really well together. It's refreshing. So yeah, it's the bomb. It's the stuff.
Again, not to get ahead, but maybe to the jewel in the mat. This is one of those mats.
This is a great
elevating
mat.
the jewel.
So
great
yeah,
mat.
absolutely. Yeah. Just as we've referenced it, so let's talk about it for a sec. But to me, food and wine pairing is always like, what do you want to showcase? And so I use the metaphor of the jewel in the mat. It's like, well, you put the mat down, you put the jewel on it, and the mat neutralizes the background, and the jewel sparkles because of the mat.
My bank account shows that. My bank account, got hit with that mat for sure. 12 years ago.
12 years ago, yeah.
Almost 12 years ago, 11 years ago.
Yeah. But so Ouzo is, as you say, a great mat. It takes those kinds of Mediterranean flavors and just elevates them, and they really shine because of it. So, nice. But interestingly enough, I had a really cool experience with a gentleman that makes an amazing Ouzo. It's Gatsios out of Arta in Western Greece. And I remember, I got there, and like for me, Ouzo is like, okay, well, you take your Ouzo, it's this glass with ice, and you pour it on, and you have it, whatever. And he says, no, proper Ouzo. Like, okay, proper Ouzo. What are you talking about? So to do it properly, what you want to do is not just shock it. You want to gradually cool it off, because that's going to help the flavors really pop.
Right.
So this is so what we're going to do today is a proper Ouzo, in the way that he taught me to do it.
Okay, so just a bit of a tangent for my own curiosity.
Yeah.
So can you do that with other beverages, like a gin or a tequila? Is it better to then what you're going to show us today, apply that to other beverages? I just never heard of this before. So
right. Yeah, well, I mean, the rationale behind it, his rationale is that there's a group of essential oils and flavors, and a lot of them are quite delicate and apparently quite temperature sensitive. And so in situations where you're using a flavored liqueur, a flavored spirit, I would say that's probably makes sense. So maybe it's probably applicable to gins, and it's probably applicable to certain vodkas, depending on what we're looking at. But yeah, I mean, certainly with Ouzos and with Ouzo, Sambuca, absinthe, I think it would probably make a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, let's
get it after.
You kick us off here.
Yeah.
So what do we have to get started here?
Okay.
What's the starting?
So what we're doing is we've got 2 glasses empty. We've got a bowl of ice cubes, right?
Okay.
And we've got a bunch of water. So what we're going to do is pour our 2 ounces of Ouzo into the glass. So.
And does it have to be 2? Is that just the recommended amount?
That's the recommended amount.
So you can do it with 1 if you're just having a nightcap. For some reason, taking it easy. Maybe it's a Thursday. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. It could be 1. But the whole idea is that Ouzo is. So now Ouzo, just a quick, while we're doing this, actually we'll get to it while we're trying. So what we've got is 2 ounces of Ouzo. Mm-hmm. We've got the ice cubes there and our water. So what we're going to do is what we want to, this is basically, good quality filtered water.
Yep.
And what we're going to want to do is is chill off the water to the point where it gets halfway between what the room temperature and the temperature of the ice.
So give or take 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so what we're going to do, so we've got the water here. This is great. We're going to put, actually what I'm going to do is use a little bit less water because we're only going to need a couple of ounces of the water. So here we go.
Right. Okay. I swear I washed my hands. It's okay.
Put it in your glass. It doesn't matter. Okay. So what we're going to do is leave it like this for a bit.
Okay.
And we're going to let it sit like this for about a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
Use that clock I can't read. Got it. Okay. We're good. We're good.
Can tell by the sun,
a showpiece. But that's a showpiece in Rome.
Yeah.
Wife loves it because that's what she uses the time. Every time the time changes, I change every clock in the house but that one.
Right.
So she's always an hour late or early. I hear about it every year for a month, so I finally get my long arms up there.
Perfect. So Ouzo, Ouzo was really created in the early to mid 1800s when they flavored what the Greeks called chipuru, which is grappa. I mentioned grappa earlier.
Yes,
so
yes.
They take grape pomace, they add water, sugar, they ferment it, then you distill it, and so there's this element of what they started doing was flavoring the chipuru. With the ingredients that they found handy, and in the Mediterranean, particularly in the island of Lesbos, lots of aniseed.
Right.
So anise. Right. So they flavored it with anise and did all that stuff. Now, at the same time, what happened was there was Italians coming back and forth, shipping stuff from that northern Aegean Sea over there, and so they were they were taking these silkworm cocoons, and they would stamp the box with Ouzo Masaya. So only for Masaya. So what happened over time was that became a stamp of quality. It meant that, if it was only for Marsala, then it was quality. And so over time, they branded it this way. And of course, at that time, in the mid 1800s, early 1800s, you had this explosion of absinthe in the south of France.
Right.
And so the Greeks were like, well, we've got that. We've got our chipuru, flavored chipuru with anise. So we'll ship it to Marseille with the cocoons. So as it was shipped together, they said, just call it Ouzo. So that's the etymology of the name. That's how the name came about.
And Ouzo's out, kind of. No.
Well, Ouzo at the time, Ouzo was the Italian word for only.
Oh, okay.
But over time, the Greeks adopted the word Ouzo to mean quality, and so they called this beverage. What you had was chipuru, which was relatively inexpensive, and if you've had village chipuru, you understand that it's not particular. It's pretty coarse.
I can kind of see it on one eye.
Yeah. But what they did with Ouzo was they said, no, this is the good stuff. So we're going to get rid of the heads and the tails from the distillate rather than just putting it all together. Mm-hmm. So it won't make you blind. Okay. So we're probably pretty close. So now what we're going to do is just take a spoon, block it, and we're going to put in about an ounce of water. Okay. And we're going to let that just chill for another 30 seconds or so.
Now, not a magic trick. We didn't do anything to the water, but
right.
our glasses are different here. What's happening?
So the Ouzo, as you get it, it's clear.
Yes.
But what happens is that the anethol, which is the primary oil in the anise, mm-hmm. in the anethol breaks. And so what happens is once you get below a certain concentration of alcohol, it precipitates out and forms this milky white sort of, and sometimes some people even say it looks a little blue, but milky white. What I understand is that the better the quality of the Ouzo, the faster it breaks, because all the other essential oils are there as well, and so the concentration of the anethol is less, and so it breaks more quickly.
Okay.
So
I can have it now.
No.
Oh.
So what's happened now is that we're letting the temperature adjust, and now we're going to add our ice. And for me, 3 ice cubes is about right.
Okay. And would it matter if I was making it easier, a few less items, if I took the ice from the glass? Does that matter? No. Okay.
It doesn't really matter. But the point is that now what we're doing is we're going to let it sit for another 30 seconds. Just let it chill and get it literally chill and just get it back up to that temperature.
I can smell it.
It's so nice.
I can smell it already.
So good ouzo is not just anise flavored, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this particular case, what he does is he takes a grain distillate, okay?
Okay.
He takes a grain distillate, then he adds the ingredients. So aniseed, coriander, lemon, orange, angelica root, masticha. So all these things are possible. So he adds these to them. Then what he does is he gradually boils it. Now, the faster you boil it, the more aggressively you boil it, the more brash the expression of the oils.
Got it.
The more slow and delicate you get that first boiling, the more delicate and aromatic the ouzo is going to be. Okay. So these has all those ingredients. Then after you've distilled it, after you've got that boiling happening, and then you distill it, you get rid of the heads and tails. Right. The higher quality ouzos will get rid of a larger chunk of the heads and tails of that distillate, which gets rid of the light and the heavy alcohols, the stuff that you don't want.
Right. Okay.
Inexpensive ouzos will take those, distill them again, and then add them back in. In this case, he takes the heads and tails, throws them out. He wants the heart of the distillate. He takes that, distills it, because now that would be the second distillation, and then does its second distillation, and off you go.
And then the heads and tails are sort of the beginning and at the end of the fermenting process, right?
Well, of the distillation process, the very first things that when you get these things up to temperature, the first things that come out are the light alcohols. So there's the things that just sort of evaporate more quickly. Those I've got all sorts of aromatic compounds and some chemical compounds that you don't necessarily want. And so all distillates, you'll have the heads and the tails, and almost all of them, unless you're backcountry making hooch, moonshine, or country chipuru, you throw that stuff out. You don't want that. Okay. And then at the end of it, the heavy alcohols then finally come out. So what you end up with is you just want the heart of the distillation. Okay. So let's give this a go. Okay. Well, cheers. Yamas. Yamas. So, like it's, again, I find it just, it's not that anise flavor. And in this particular case, he extracts the anethol from fennel, Tasmanian fennel, rather than just anise, the star anise. So he says it's far more delicate, a far higher quality of anethol. Interesting. So another win for Australia, not just poisonous animals. There you go. It's this and the poisonous animals. Jeez. So it's quite delicate, and it's so complex. Coriander, the orange. Coriander, everything's there. Yeah. And as a garnish, it depends on where you're at, but like lemon, orange, lime, amazing with it. Can be so nice. It brings, for instance, if you use lemon or orange, it really brings out those lemon characteristics. We're not doing that right now because I really love the simplicity of this, because this is the ouzo standing on its own. So it's 2 ounces, about an ounce of chilled water, and then 3 ice cubes. Done. Beautiful. Tried making this on my own. It's totally screwed it up. I'm not going to lie. This is still the best ouzo I've ever had was with you, Paul. Yeah, still the best. You're very kind. You're very kind. But you know what? Again, like, you can't really screw it up. And even if you just pour this on the rocks, it's still lovely. But I find that this really, the delicate flavors just pop out of this, especially in a glass where you're containing some of those aromatics. And this is 40%, right? Yeah, by volume. So it's 40% alcohol. The funny thing is drinking it in this manner doesn't feel like it's harsh. Sometimes if you have like a vodka martini, a gin martini, you get a bit of that alcohol burn. Again, products will vary depending on what you consume. However, like, I find this just smooth. No matter how, like, even when I made it for my wife and I. And again, it's just so approachable, and it's like a cool breeze on a hot day. Yeah. And like any great, the role that the aperitif like this has is it takes you out of what you're thinking about. Your day's going along or whatever, and what this does is it's so fresh and it's so lively that it just all of a sudden it smells and tastes happy. So it puts you in that mindset, and it's just easy, right? I'll go a step further. I don't work for Hallmark, but it's like a moment in a glass. Yeah. It's a pause. It's a pause in your day. It's a pause in the day. You need 20 pauses. I mean, the bottle's not that big, but pretty good. You get 2 bottles. Pretty good.
Yes.
And now you're in trouble.
Well,
But this is, you know, this is, and again, like I oftentimes, when I'm in Greece now, it's like, oh, well, let's just stop for a quick. It's afternoon. It's a hot day. Let's a little, you know, like stop at an ouzoria and have a really nice proper ouzo. It's just, you know, it just makes the day better.
every glass makes me think of something different. All your talk of Greece, I can just go for some grilled calamari right now.
Oh, is it ever good?
That
And
little
you know
lemon there, a little lemon here. Just saying.
and
Just saying.
even, you know, like what's really crazy, I found with a lot of stuff out of Greece, the products out of Greece, just feta. Like if you take a little wedge of feta,
Yeah.
a little bit of olive oil, some oregano, squeeze a bit of lemon on it. There's your garnish.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculously good.
Too much to add a little bit of oregano on top. That little Mediterranean.
You'd have to, yeah. You know, I have no choice.
And then maybe like you bake some cherry tomatoes around it. I'm getting complicated.
Well,
I would never, but
if you want to do the baked feta, which is honest to God my favorite dish, yeah, absolutely. There it is. Bit of olive oil, whatever you have kicking around, throw it in the pan, seal it up. Like so, ideally a little small. Like if you've got a cast iron pan or a ceramic pan or something, just a little dish, and then you seal it up. Oven 400 degrees, 20 minutes. Pull it out with this. And again, that would, you know, for me, lots of herbs. Everything. This goes beautifully with anything that has lots of herbs. And lemon and olive oil.
I want a Greek salad.
Yeah, good.
A little mint, a little red wine, just washing over. I feel like food's going to show up in one of these podcasts.
You know,
I like some food.
For sure. Absolutely. Well, we should do the baked feta. I think that's
good.
That's a winner. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So anyway, and yeah, so this has become, ouzo's just become the Greek beverage. Thank heavens, because a lot of times the chipurus are really nasty. Like because, you know, this is, I mean, every Greek I think I've ever known is like, chipuru. My uncle's best friend's nephew makes the best chipuru.
Oh yeah, that far down.
And it comes down, it's like, it comes in a plastic jug. You're like, okay, that's an old Coke bottle. This is not going to be good, right? And you try it and you're like, oh, wow. A lot of times it burns hard because they're using the heads and the tails, and it's coarse, rough stuff. And they're using the leftovers from a wine fermentation.
Okay.
So that's chipuru. But this, you know, chipuru is sort of coarse and rough, and and I have to say though, chipuru, you know, fig soaked in chipuru is particularly good. It's a good breakfast item. But ouzo is the civilized. This is now recognized as sort of the national.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's got its own appellation governing its production, the name, the whole thing. Like it's really fantastic. And there are some beautiful producers. And if you're lucky enough to bump into a few, every now and again you go to places like Athens or Thessaloniki or Nafplion, and you'll find, oh, this is our local ouzo producer. And you try that and you're like, wow.
Okay.
So exceptional.
So that's amazing. But I'm not planning on going to Greece anytime soon. So where would I source or how could I track down exceptional ouzo here in Canada?
So, you know,
well, we're in Alberta, so
yeah, we're in Alberta, but so there's not many, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
Just because a lot of times people are like, well, ouzo is ouzo. It's like, you know, I just saw a belly dance, so I'm just gonna get a shot of ouzo. So
yeah, throw another lamb shank on the Barbie while we're at it.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe that was a little Australian to the fennel.
It's good. So. It works. But you know, the problem is that most people just don't realize. Like if you're over here and you've never been to Greece, you don't realize that there's such a thing as really good ouzo.
I had no idea. You've converted me. I was 100% one of those people for sure.
So. You know, one of the big challenges that these really good producers, and there's a bunch of really good producers. Again, you talk to people who are really keen on their food and wine experience in Greeks, and everyone's got their favorite. Oh, this brand is mine, or I know this little guy over here, and not my uncle's or my
cousins, my brother's roommate, van. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, not that guy. But oftentimes it's like, you know, there are these tiny producers of ouzo, and they're just stunning. And so oftentimes they're just regional. Every now and again, you go to a really good store in Athens, and they'll have more than 4 or 5. But we just don't see them over here very often. So when you do, you just gotta encourage, buy them because they're, and, like this, for instance, Gatsios is 20% more expensive than than Ouzo 12, right? Which is the largest of the brands of Ouzo, and it's sort of, so the really great Ouzos are not much more. It's not like Scotch where you go like,
Sure.
like, okay, it's a $60 bottle of Scotch, but to get a really good one, it's $300 a bottle. No, it's just like you're talking about a $30 bottle for the basic stuff and $35 or $37 for a really good one.
So I can't find Gatsos in town. Let's just say I see another Ouzo. If I do this process you're showing me, like the chilled water, the ice, the waiting, will I have a similar, maybe not equivalent, but a similar experience?
The beauty is, I think, in my opinion, that this process brings out all the subtleties in an Ouzo. Now, if there are none to begin with, then it's still going to be pleasant, but it's not going to be as complex. And for instance, like we both felt the coriander. The coriander came right out for me, right? Well, that's one of their key ingredients. This is a recipe that goes back to the family's time in Constantinople in the mid 1800s. So what happens is every producer has their own recipe, and so when you do this, you're going to get different experiences. Oh, this producer likes more angelica root, or this producer uses more mastic or because there's a number of herbs that are possible. So everyone, when you do this, it's like when you're talking about wine, it's like swirling your glass in a really nice glass, and you're getting more of the aromatics, you're getting the subtleties. So this is a great way to showcase the recipe that goes into a quality.
So to the recipe then. Yeah. So is it sort of same traditions as maybe, those key Italian wines, like I'll pick on Chianti, where we know the mix is those 3 grapes. Right. But in this case, is it all the same aromatics, but just different weights, or the recipes somewhat more varied? Like,
my experience is that that a lot of times there's a lot of variety, and a lot of it depends on what people had locally.
Well,
right?
Logic dictates, makes sense.
So I've got a bunch of this, so let's put that in there and let's give it a try. So each region will have sort of specialties. Oh, traditionally we did it with this, or we used more of that.
Right.
So that was their traditions in that area. In this particular case, Constantinople, the recipe comes from Constantinople. And in Constantinople, you had everything. You had access to the flavors of the world.
Right.
Constantinople, Istanbul. So they had access to everything. So they could sort of craft it. And they moved to Arta because of the quality of the raw ingredients that are there. And the mountainous area. It's a beautiful area, Western Greece. Amazing area. But but you'll find that, for instance, from the island of Lesbos, you'll have more anise character in it, and not sort of industrial anise, like really nice, almost sweet anise flavors. So it's beautiful because Lesbos makes arguably the best, is the best source for anise in Greece. Huh, okay. And so you'll have more anise flavors. So they have their regional specialities. Absolutely.
Well, I don't know what more can be said. I mean, maybe lots.
Well, there's only one more. Que alo para calo. I'll have more, please.
Oh, yeah, yes. Well,
and I think maybe we should.
Sounds good. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Until next time. Enjoy.
Yes.
Have fun.
Stay curious.
Cheers.
Cheers.